Hi everyone, I hope you've all had a wonderful week. In this week's report, has Lake Yucumbean reached its seasonal peak? I'll let you know. I'll also let you know where the fish were biting. Pete's got another amazing high country pic to share with us. I spotlight the Southern Cloud Memorial in Cooma. There's the weather, visitor pics, and more. Despite the recent dry weather, Lake Yucumbean continues to rise, with a lake up another 0.3% this week. It's now only 3.8% lower than it was at this time last year. Lake Jindabyne and Tantangara Dam both remain steady this week. Just before we check where the fish were biting, this week is a pretty tough one for me, as it marks the 8th anniversary of the sudden and unexpected passing of my amazing, kind, wonderful dad, Rod. Like many people watching this video, it was my dad who introduced me to Lake Yucumbean back in the late 70s. We loved going there together. It was our special place, and we had the most wonderful time fishing, laughing, telling stories, solving the world's problems, joking around, the occasional tears, and lots of beers. Dad bought the cafe and restaurant at Adaminaby, and our love for the lake grew stronger. Dad, my best friend, my soulmate, and my biggest supporter, I miss you every day. Forever rest in peace. Stuart and Julie spent some time at Buckenderra during the week. Julie landing this lovely brown within the first hour of fishing on the popular Chunky Cheese powerbait. Stuart and Julie lost another good fish just prior to catching this one using worms. Well done, Julie, and I bet it felt great landing one before hubby. In response to Stuart's post to the Lake Yucumbean Facebook group, David added this pic of one of his catches at the very same spot. David mentioning he greeted Stuart and Julie on their way out. It sure is a small world. Thanks for sharing with us, Stuart, Julie, and David. Rod and mate spent a great week up at Braemar Bay recently and had an absolute ball. Rod adding the group of 11 had made the annual trip up since the early 90s and haven't missed a trip since. They originally started going to Arnie and Josie Crow's, but these days the base for the trip is the Braemar Bay Holiday Park, where Rod said Mick is a great host and he's so very welcoming. As you can see in these pics, fishing wasn't the only thing on the agenda. There was lots of fun, laughs, and banter. Rod said the fishing was a tad tough during the variable weather conditions, but some great fish were caught, the majority on mud eyes. Rod's post to the Lake Yucumbean Facebook group generated a lot of comment, with most, including me, saying it looked like our type of trip. Tight line, boys, and see you again in 2026. Tiny spent last Sunday afternoon's cold snap down by the water at Angler's Reach. Despite the conditions, which included wind squalls, rain, and even some snow flurries, Tiny managed to land a lovely brown for the smoker. Now, we all know Tiny's the king of the power bait, so I asked which one did the trick this time. Tiny telling me it was the fluoro orange one. Great catch, Tiny, and thanks for sharing with us. Shaki spent Wednesday afternoon at Buckenderra and landed this big brown from the bank using a small grey deep diving lure. Fantastic catch, and thanks for sharing with us. Reno spent yesterday out on the lake in very blustery weather. Despite the conditions, though, Reno was able to land this nice brown on a licorice all sorts 20-gram Tassie Devil. The fish caught down at the Buckenderra end. Just take a look at the conditions Reno faced yesterday. Wow. Jim posted another of his flies this week, the very effective midge pupae. Jim adding the key to fishing for midge feeders is to have an understanding of the life cycle of the insect, with Jim providing this summary. The eggs hatch into larvae, which are known as bloodworms, and they live on the bottom. Red buzzers work really well at this stage. During a hatch, the buzzers emerge as pupae, and this is when they are really vulnerable. Lastly is the adult stage, when the dragonfly can be deployed. As always, thanks for a great insight, Jim, and tight lines, mate. Bob was so excited by his delivery this week, he wanted to share it with the Lake Yucumbean Facebook group. The bloody ripper Tassie Devil has been productive in Yucumbean for years, and, judging by the comments on Bob's post, this lure has caught many fish. Well, you'll have to let us know how you get on with it, Bob. Tiny had a friend visit on Friday, this little black spinner. And what this means is the hatches have started, and, like Tiny said, it's about time. Well, let's hope this brings on the fish during the warmer evenings. We've seen some of Pete's amazing photographs over many months in these videos and on the Lake Yucambine Facebook group, and this week's offering doesn't disappoint. We know the Snowy Mountains is renowned for its winter scenery, but in the springtime the area transforms as cold gives way to warmer days and the snow melts away. At this time of year, parts of the Kosciuszko National Park are taken over by different wildflowers, and Pete has captured the beauty of just one of them. Pete took this lovely photo on the 22nd of November at the Goandra parking area just north of Kiandra. Thanks for sharing with us, Pete. Speaking of Pete's amazing photos, Pete has a limited supply of his very popular 2026 Australian High Country photography calendars for purchase. The calendars are beautiful, with an amazing photo presented for each month, including shots taken at Cabramatta, Kiandra, Adaminaby, 3 Mile Dam, Lake Yucambine, and more. The calendars would make a great Christmas present for anyone who loves the lake or region. The calendars are just $30 each plus postage. If you'd like to grab yourself one, please call or text Pete on 0408 975 056. This week I spotlight the Southern Cloud Memorial in Cooma. You may have seen the memorial if you've travelled from Cooma to Adaminaby down Cooma's Sharp Street. It's on the left just past Cooma Creek and the Snowy Mountains Hydroelectric Building. So why is it there? Well, the Southern Cloud Memorial is dedicated to the airliner, the Southern Cloud, which is one of Australia's greatest air mysteries. On March 21st, 1931, the 3-engine aeroplane disappeared without a trace on a flight from Sydney to Melbourne when it encountered severe weather conditions over the mountains. It was Australia's first big civil airline disaster. The mystery was solved 27 years later during the construction of the Snowy Mountains scheme. On October 26, 1958, Tom Sonter, a carpenter on the scheme, left his camp 15 miles from Happy Jacks and came upon pieces of rusted metal. The riddle of the Southern Cloud had been solved. The Southern Cloud lay on the southwest side of the densely timbered mountain ridge of the now Kosciuszko National Park. The memorial is made of concrete wings 40 feet across that soar from the blunt apex of a triangle. The grille encloses the face of the memorial, and the recovered engine parts of the Southern Cloud and other historic relics lie there. Recorded information is available telling the story of the Southern Cloud, and it was erected by the Cooma Lions Club. If you haven't visited the memorial, I can highly recommend it as a stop the next time you visit Cooma. A fairly settled week of weather ahead for the lake. Sunny at first, but showers are forecast from midweek, with Thursday likely to be the wettest day, although not much rain is expected in the gauge. Maximums ranging from 26 degrees on Tuesday to 20 degrees on Thursday and Friday. One of the advantages of living just 400 metres from the water's edge is being able to play the part of Stormboy. For those of us old enough to remember Stormboy, Mr. Percival, and Aussie acting legend David Gulpilil. For those who don't know, Stormboy and Mr. Percival spent their days scavenging along the ragged South Australian shoreline, looking for old stuff to reuse and turn into something useful. Well, Tiny could be Yucambine's very own Stormboy, hunting for old stuff as the waters rise and fall. Well, this week, Tiny found this relic at Angler's Reach, and he joked that somebody's outboard must have been playing up many years ago. Well, if it's yours and you can prove it to Tiny, he'll give it back to you, along with 50 years of good fishing vibes. Would love to hear some of the other things you've found over the years, Tiny. Ricky and Jet spent a great week at Buckenderra recently, and despite the tough fishing conditions, Jet said they had an absolute ball and can't wait for their holidays next year to come back again. Hope to see you again soon, guys. Ian took a trip up to Jens Bay on Monday, the 1st of December, and unfortunately stumbled across this mess. Now, I'm sure it's nobody in the Lake Yucambine Facebook group or watching this video, but it's just a reminder to all. If you take it in with you, please take it back out with you. Let's not give the authorities any more excuses to lock us out of even more areas of our favourite lake. I took this pic at Old Adaminaby back in January 2019. The pic looking towards Jens Bay and the Old Adaminaby Cemetery, and was snapped from just below Rainbow Pines Tourist Park. The trees in the centre are currently under the water. Now, if you've taken a great pic, please post it to the Lake Yucamine Facebook group and you might see it here in a future report. This week's fishing meme is dedicated to my old mate, Ricky Siddle. I'd rather be fishing even if I didn't catch anything. Ricky and wife Jet had a great weekend up at Bucandera, but the fish really were playing hard to get. Don't worry, Ricky, we've all been in that boat, mate. Pun intended. Fish or no fish, there's nowhere else I'd rather be, mate. Well, that's the report for this week. I hope you found it useful. As always, happy to take on feedback or any suggestions. And don't forget, if you're looking for more information on Lake Yucambine, check out the social media channels. There's the website, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And please don't forget to like and subscribe, and you'll be updated as soon as I post new content. Have a great week, everyone. Stay safe, tight lines, and bye for now.